Museums are filled with bones, from prehistoric dinosaurs to human mummies. Some institutions are grappling with the moral dilemma of what to do with human remains that were displayed without permission.
For most visitors, when they start to think about, oh, if the remains of my grandfather were on display, yet he nor none of his descendants had consented to that display, how might that make me feel?
Gretchen Baker from the Carnegie Museum of Natural History told CBS News the thoughts and policies around human remains in museums are changing.
We still can use recreations, we can use oral histories, we have wonderful objects that tell lots of stories.
Mummies and human skeletons enclosed in glass have acted as biological representations of history. The Smithsonian's Kevin Gover says many of the remains were not collected ethically.
The vast majority of these were collected without the consent of the person who now sits in a box or a jar in a museum collection. And that's very troubling.
Some Indigenous and Native communities have asked museums to return their relatives. A 1990 federal law mandated all remains taken from tribal lands had to be returned, but there are no laws concerning remains taken from private land or other countries.
We are listening and paying attention to the wishes of descendant communities. That's the whole core of why we do this.
Tracking down descendants and the rightful owners of remains, some of which are thousands of years old, is an arduous process. The Smithsonian says it acknowledges that some of the practices of its past are no longer acceptable today, and of the over 30,000 remains in its collection, has returned more than 5,000 to Indigenous American and Native Hawaiian people. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm TC Newman.